Because if they use night vision goggles, then they couldn't kill Byakuya even in reality. So those goggles were planned to kill or brought them to the crime scene. Because if they use night vision, then they couldn't kill Byakuya even in reality. So those goggles were planned in advance. The killer brought them to the crime scene.
Allow me to cut through those words.
I'm up to one of the hard
No,
parts.
Byakuya was definitely the one who brought those night vision goggles.
Definitely? But why?
Inside the duralumin case Byakuya had with him during the party, he found a smaller case for storing the night vision goggles.
Which means we can assume that the night vision goggles were kept inside that duralumin case as well. Woohoo! I said assume! Ibuki never uses such clever language.
Plus, Byakuya was the only one who could have taken the night vision goggles out of the case, since he was carrying it around before the blackout in the first place.
I see. When you put it like that, it makes sense.
Then, was that knife inside the case too? If there were night vision goggles inside, it wouldn't be weird for a knife to be in there too.
It would be weird.
I am weird, aren't I? At times like this, I'd rather be fantasizing about tonight.
Ew! You totally mean that in a perverted way.
Oh no. Nice.
There was duct tape left under the table where the body was found.
Yeah, it was.
Duct tape? They probably hid the knife by duct taping it to the underside of the table.
Oh, so that's why we found duct tape there.
Though Byakuya was thorough, even he couldn't have noticed a weapon taped to the underside of the table.
This may be off topic, but why was Byakuya acting so paranoid? Not only did he bring a self-defense kit,
The note.
but he had night vision goggles inside the case too.
That's true. He went above and beyond, being a little cautious.
Now that you mention it, that applies to the dangerous items he confiscated as well. It's one thing to be a little cautious, but performing a body check is a bit much.
Are you saying he predicted the murder? Could it be? Was he also in possession of the all-seeing eye?
You think so too, right, Hajime?
Yeah, because the note was the note. There.
I can prove it with this! Everyone, can you please take a look at this? The hell is this? Hajime and I found this in Byakuya's cottage. It looks like a threatening letter someone sent to him.
So, who's the someone? Nobody besides Monokuma would write such a dumb, threatening letter like that.
Wasn't me!
Are you sure?
The only lies I tell are friendly lies!
Those are still lies! Doesn't matter who wrote it yet. So, Byakuya became paranoid because of this threatening letter?
He
Yes.
probably decided to throw a party because of the letter.
Yeah.
What do you mean? By gathering everyone in one place, he tried to create a situation where everyone could keep tabs on each other. In doing so, he tried to put the writer of the letter in a situation where they couldn't act. But the letter might have been just a little prank. As long as he was determined not to let any of us die, he couldn't take that risk. His strong sense of responsibility made him believe the letter was legitimate.
He should have told us he received a threatening letter.
If he had, we would have panicked. Byakuya probably knew that too.
So, he tried to do something about it without telling anyone? See. Strong sense of responsibility as our leader was his MD.
Screw that noise! Who the hell wrote that letter?
Well, obviously, the killer.
Enough already! Show yourself, you coward!
If they were willing to come forward, they never would have committed a murder in the first place.
Exactly.
Pardon me. Can I say something, please?
What is it, Miss Sonia?
I regret that I must return to this topic, but I just realized something concerning the night vision goggles.
What?
If Byakuya was indeed wearing those goggles, how did the killer manage to navigate in the dark?
You're right. They wouldn't have been able to see anything without the night vision goggles. But if the murderer had the goggles when they took the knife, then how did Byakuya see them?
Even if the knife bore some sort of mark, it would have been difficult to see it in that darkness.
Ah, yes, the tablecloth. Okay, it's definitely the one.
I see!
Glowing paint.
What if the glowing paint was the mark? With that, you'd be able to get the knife even in the dark. In actuality,
yeah,
the knife we
green
found under the
stuff.
table and the duct tape stuck to the underside of the table were both marked with glowing paint, right?
Does that mean the killer painted them in advance? But painting them with glowing paint? It's as if they knew the blackout was going to happen. They had to have already known. That's why they used the glowing paint as a mark. Which means whoever set up the blackout is the killer.
That seals it. The killer is whoever was in the office with the circuit breaker. Which means it was you! Peko-Yama!
Peko killed poor Byakuya? Was this island not big enough for two glasses wearers? Not the killer. Oh, I guess she's not.
How can you believe her so easily?
But with Pekko's height, I don't think she'd be able to reach the circuit breaker in the office.
I don't care about a technicality like that. Pekko's the one who tripped the breaker and caused the blackout.
Maybe they were working together. I don't know. I get it, so we can either argue or agree.
Since Pekko was in the office, she could have caused the blackout at any time.
That's impossible. Huh? Why is it impossible? Because I was not in the not even before the blackout.
What happened to your guard?
Sorry. Oh, you weren't. That's clearly a desperate excuse.
Since Pekko was in the office, she could have caused the blackout at any time.
That's impossible. Huh? What? Because I was not even before the blackout.
What happened to your guard?
Sorry. Oh, you weren't. That's clearly a desperate excuse.
Since Pekko was in, she could have caused the...
That's impossible. Huh? What? Because I was not even before the blackout.
What?
Crap! Since Pekko was in the office, she could have caused the black...
That's impossible. Huh? What? Because I was not even before the
Since Pekko was in the office, she could have caused the blackout at any time! She could have caused the blackout at any time!
That's impossible. Huh? What? Because I was not even...
Silencer, fast forward argument.
What happened to your guard duty?
Sorry. Oh, you weren't in the office? That's clearly a desperate excuse.
Since Pekko was in the office, she...
That's impossible. Huh? Why is it impossible? because I was not in the office. Not even before they left.
I agree with that. No, I think Pecco is telling the truth.
Don't tell me you're crushing on Pecco.
It's nothing like that at all. Nekomaru's account is actually Pecco's alibi.
It's true. Someone was occupying the bathroom for a long time shortly after the party started, and it was finally freed up after Byakuya's body was discovered.
Then the person who was in the bathroom that whole time was actually...
Everyone else besides Pecco was in the dining hall after the party started. Right?
I see. So there's no way anybody else could have locked themselves in the bathroom except Pecco. I guess that would be... true.
You locked yourself in the commode? You should have said so earlier!
There's no way she'd actually say that. Gosh, you're so insensitive.
If she locked herself in the bathroom for that long, there's no doubt. It's shit. Oh, there's no way she'd admit it. There's no way she'd admit she was taking a shit.
Hey, weren't you guys taught any basic manners? Or were you raised in a locker room?
I'm sorry.
It's fine. How about we stop talking about this and move on to something else?
Don't worry, the smell wasn't that strong. I used the bathroom right after you, so you can trust me.
I said it's fine. But still, you were in the bathroom for a really long time. Did you get food poisoning or something? As soon as I stepped into the office, I felt this sudden rush of pain in my stomach. Because of that, I was unable to leave the bathroom, including when the blackout occurred.
Hey, how did it feel to... Seriously, stop it.
But still, your stomach pain. Was that really just a coincidence?
Hey, what's the deal? Don't butt into other people's business, especially if you didn't do any investigating.
I'm only butting in because you fucking idiots are out of your element.
Stop this childish nonsense. Just what do you mean by coincidence?
What I mean is it possible someone slipped her some laxatives?
Laxatives?
If so, the killer could have tripped the breaker as soon as that girl left the office, don't you think?
I see. That might have happened.
Why is this so much?
Did you eat anything weird?
I don't remember eating anything weird. Now that you mention, he brought food to the office just a little bit from the
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you think?
Taro cooked the food. How suspicious! I wouldn't do anything. Laxatives would ruin the taste.
Whoops. Got a lot more lives though, so that's...
Did you eat anything?
I don't remember eating. Now that you brought food to the office just a little bit from...
There might have been some laxatives in it, don't you think?
There we go.
No, that's wrong! No, it's impossible that laxatives were slipped into the food in the dining hall, because Pecco wasn't the only one who ate that food. Akane ate some of it too.
If the food had laxatives in it, I'm pretty sure Akane would have had stomach issues as well.
I feel totally fine. Like I said, the dishes are innocent. Don't go making weird accusations.
I apologize for causing a scene. Fuyuhiko should apologize, not you. He's the one who made the laxative accusation.
What the fuck did you say, bitch?
Cease this bickering! Let's just dismiss Pecco's stomachache as a coincidence and go back to discussing the blackout. Yeah. We already know that, you trashy skank. You don't have to tell us. Trashy skank? Who tripped the breaker and how did they do it? If you can't answer that, I'm gonna bop you on the head. Did they throw a stone and hit it?
Maybe they used a remote control?
They probably messed with the breaker. It does not have to be they may have tampered with the power supply, or maybe they caused a power surge?
I bet it's really Monokuma's fault.
By the way, I'm not a trashy skank! Who tripped the breaker? breaker, and how did they do it? If you can't answer that, Did they throw a stone and hit it?
Maybe they used a remote.
Probably. It does not have to be. They may have tampered with, or maybe they caused it. I bet it's really By the way, I'm not a trashy skank. Who tripped the breaker? If you can't answer that, Did they throw a stone and hit it? Who tripped the breaker, and how did they do it? If you can't answer that, I'm gonna bop you on the head. Did they throw a stone and hit it?
Maybe they used a remote control?
They probably messed with the breaker. It does not have to be the breaker. They may have tampered with the power supply and transmitters. Or maybe they caused a power surge? I bet it's really much. By the way, I'm not.
Maybe they used a remote.
Probably messed. It does not have to be. They may have tampered with, or maybe they caused a power surge.
I didn't.
Who tripped the breaker? If you can't answer that, Did they throw a?
Maybe they used a remote.
Probably. It does not have to be. They may have tampered with, or maybe they caused.
Jesus.
I agree with that. It's just as Mahiru said. The blackout was caused by a power surge. Of course, that's not a coincidence. Which is why those 3 irons were arranged to cause the blackout. When you found them right after the blackout, the irons...
So by leaving those irons on in the storage room, they deliberately caused a power surge.
Yeah, it seems that's how the killer caused the blackout.
Stupid fool! Hold on a second, let me speak too!
What the heck?
You say the irons in the storage room were used to trigger the blackout? That's inexcusable! If the irons in the storage room caused the blackout, then for the killer to turn the irons on, you're saying they went all the way to this, and that means everyone who, when the blackout occurred, can't be a suspect.
No, just because people were in the dining hall doesn't mean they're not a suspect.
But the people in the dining hall, if the irons come, then the killer had to go to this and turn on the iron. Now do you intend to take back what you said? But the people in the dining hall weren't able to cause, if the irons caused the blackout.
No.
Crap!
But the people in the dining hall weren't able to cause it. If the irons, then the killer had to go to the storage room and turn on the irons. Now do you intend to take back what you said? But the people in the dining hall were, if the irons caused the blackout.
Allow me to cut through those words. The irons are just one reason the blackout occurred, but they weren't the direct trigger. The direct trigger was when the air conditioners in the dining hall and office clicked on.
The air conditioner!
The timers for both air conditioners were set to 11:30 p.m.
11:30 p.m. Mr. Ham Hands died around that time too.
I see. When the timers activated the air conditioners, the breaker was tripped and caused a blackout. I see. I understand. Indubitably.
Indubitably?
They probably checked the old building's energy usage in advance and used the irons to nearly max it out. So once they set the air conditioner's timers, they just had to wait until they started up on their own.
If so, even if Pekka was in the office, it still would have been possible to cause a blackout, indubitably.
Indubitably? Miss Sonia, not you too.
Regarding the energy usage, they probably asked Monokuma about it. Dun dun dun! Is she right? Such a hateful bear! You deserve to die 1,000 deaths!
1,000, you say? If I died that many times, I might really stay dead, you know?
Shut up! You guys just stay quiet! I couldn't have prevented the blackout even if I was in the office. If I was in the office, I could have reset the breaker in time. And maybe the murder wouldn't have occurred.
No, the breaker in the office was built into a high area of the wall that's impossible to reach. Resetting the breaker in that darkness would have been impossible, no matter what.
Yeah, that's
Sounds
true,
like you
Nagito.
don't need to blame yourself.
Even so, the killer is so sly. I'm starting to worry we may never actually find them.
It's alright. You don't have to worry. Because they're just a petty killer, right? They can't defeat symbols of hope like you guys. There's no way everybody will lose now. This little incident will just be a stepping stone for you all. In the end, hope always wins. That's what I believe.
Nagito? What happened to you?
Huh? What do you mean?
Well, you have been saying this whole time that there's no way a killer could be among us.
Oh, is that so? Well, let's just put that minor detail aside for now and talk about the incident. For now, we found out how the blackout occurred. But the question is, who caused it, right? Anybody could have hid and set the timers for the air conditioners. Setting up the irons in the storage room could have been done before Byakuya set foot in the old building. What a shame. Any one of us is capable of that.
What are you implying?
He's just saying, after all this time, we still haven't made any progress. Huh? Even though we have been arguing for so long?
Fortunately, it's the truth. Despite the fact that we've discussed this at length, there's not even one clue that leads to the killer. But that might be because there's no way any of us could be a killer.
You're changing your story again?
Anyway, I have an idea about what we all should do at this point. Has anyone thought about our situation like this? Instead of surviving by doubting others, isn't it better to get killed for believing in others?
Doesn't that mean... Are you saying we should all just give up and die?
Nagito, there's definitely something wrong with you.
You guys only think there's something wrong with me because there's something wrong with you. Suspecting each other like this. There's no way that's healthy behavior. Let's stop this already. We don't have to find out who the killer is. I can't stand this anymore. I don't want to do this to my friends.
What's going on?
I don't want to do this either.
Me too! Please, take me home already! I want to go home and eat candy!
What's going on?
Stop it. If everyone acts like this, I'm gonna...
Everyone calm down.
Jesus
We're all
Christ.
friends, aren't we? There's no way one friend would murder another.
What are you
Then why did
doing?
Byakuya die?
Who cares? Let's just give up already.
What is-
There are no clues that lead to the killer anyway. Not a single one.
Really though? What the hell?
Wrong, I think.
Did you say something?
Cause we've already found a clue that might point to who the killer is.
You know who the killer is?
The killer? I don't know. But we do have a clue about a suspicious person. I think.
I see. Then care to tell me, what's this clue you're talking about?
First of all, let's try thinking about how the killer was able to obtain the knife during the blackout.
Didn't we already cover that? They used glowing paint as a mark.
No, not that. I mean before that.
She asked me how the killer got close to the table.
Let's try examining the situation. Mahiru's diagram might be useful here.
The diagram of where everyone was standing before the blackout, right? Here it is.
They used the lamp. Here. Oh, I got it right. Nice.
The killer must have used the desk lamp to move to that table in the dark.
The desk lamp? I hope you don't mean they turned on a light or something.
There was a blackout. There's no way the killer could have used the desk lamp.
Powerful.
I can prove it with this! They didn't turn the desk lamp on. They used its power cord.
Power cord?
They could have felt their way to that table using the power cord, right? By doing that, the killer was able to move to the table, then use the glowing paint to find the knife.
And there's only one person here who could have done that.
No, don't say Nagito.
Who?
What? I'm sorry, Nagito, but you're the closest to me, so...
You're the only one! Nagito, it was you, wasn't it?
Me?
Judging
he's
from
next to
everyone's
me.
positions before the blackout, the only person near the power cord was you.
Which means the only one who could have felt their way to the table using the power cord was Nagito!
That's just a coincidence.
Really?
But still, you had a chance, right? A chance to hide the knife under the table?
I knew that was wrong. I knew that was wrong.
I see! Nagito, weren't you cleaning the dining hall all morning? If so, you would have had a chance to hide the knife.
That's...
If you factor in the power cord and the time you spent cleaning, you're the only one.
Seriously! That's all just a coincidence!
You're the one who's
If it was
acting all
just one
weird.
coincidence, it'd be fine. But when it's one right after another, I wonder, is something like that even possible?
I don't think so.
Could it be? Did you give yourself cleaning duty on purpose so you could hide the knife under the table?
Now
I
that
don't know
you
if
mention
Nagito
it,
did it, man.
Nagito
Honestly,
did
don't
prepare
know.
the drawing to pick who cleaned the dining hall.
Ah, he did too.
You rigged the drawing, didn't you? That's how you got picked to clean the dining hall, isn't it? I don't know if you're the killer or not, but regardless, it proves that you're suspicious, right?
Nothing to
If
say,
that's the
Nagito.
case, that strange speech you made earlier, that was part of your plan too.
You got us to lower our guard and tried to hide the fact that you did it, didn't you, you motherfucker?
Well, just admit it already!
Nagito, tell me you object to this. Frankly, I don't want to believe it either. We investigated together. You were so kind. I can't believe you're the one who killed Byakuya.
Nothing to say, mate.
Nagito, say something.
Say something. What the hell?
The Ultimates are working together to combat the despair of their friend's death!
What?
How wonderful! How beautiful it is!
What? This guy has gone crazy. Those eyes at that moment, Nagito's eyes, the darkness in his eyes shone brightly as if layers upon layers.
Let's cut to the chase. You're correct. It was my doing all along.
What?
I'm the one who hid the knife under the table before the party started. I'm the one who used the power cord to find my way to the table in the dark.
Really though?
And of course, I'm the one who caused the blackout. After all, there's no way I'd knowingly whip out a knife in front of everyone, right?
Is it just me, or does he seem a little nuts right now?
Does.
But I never expected Byakuya to have night vision goggles. Because of that, we had ourselves a little scuffle under the table. And, well, you all saw how that played out. With a twist ending like this, I think we can all agree this ended up being a
He
very
wants everyone to vote for him
interesting
because he wants
mystery.
us all to die.
Byakuya performed admirably.
Just stop it already! Seriously! What the hell happened to you?
Don't tell me. Is this your true nature? Were you lying to us this entire
He's just
time?
doing this with my lie.
Lie? That's outrageous! There's no way someone like me could have lied to you guys. I understand better than anyone else that I'm ultimately worthless. Too arrogant to have dreams or cling to hope. I've made peace with the fact that I'm a lowly, stupid, insignificant can't do anything right.
Holy crap! He's totally the type of guy who spent his childhood killing neighborhood pets! He seems like the sort of person whose eyes light up while watching Friday the 13th. Just like me.
That's quite the hobby you have there. But, like, now's not really the time to bring it up.
Is he the real Nagito?
Hey, Nagito! If you were behind all of this, then did you also send that threatening letter?
Yep, I sure did.
Nah.
There's nobody else on
It's
this
the-
island whose handwriting is that painful to look at.
But why would you send a threatening letter in the first place?
Okay, so I'm gonna end the video here. Nagito is actually acting really
think
weird, so please like, guys, and
Somewhere
subscribe. And
deep in my heart,
I don't know, just please like, guys, and
I was
subscribe.
probably
Bye,
hoping to
bye.
find